Hi everyone, I'm Vanessa. I'm going to show you how to make a no-sew mask using some pretty easy to find materials. You probably could get them at Joann Fabrics. You could get them online on Etsy. A lot of makers are selling pieces of fabric or crafting supplies. Maybe Michael's has some of the supplies, and some of these things you can find at your own home. So let me show you what you're going to need. You're going to need, this is actually called polypropylene. It is an upholstery fabric that's used at the bottom of chairs and sofas. You'll see it stapled to the bottom, and it is like a dust protector for furniture. It is actually CDC compliant. It is rated as a filter fabric. We have found it's used as the filter inside of an N95 mask. It just needs to be a range of 20 to 90 GSM. So what that means is if you look at a fabric weight specifications, commonly you will see a ounce per square yard. So the conversion for that is times 33. So if it will list 2 ounce per square yard, you want a 2 times 33 equals 66. So yes, that falls in that range of 20 to 90 GSM. So that's what this is. It is not a regular fabric. It is non-woven, and it's because it's made out of polyester, it will melt. So don't try to iron it with your iron. So you'll need that. You'll need an 8 by 14 rectangle, and that gets folded in half. So it will end up being like a double layer. This is crafting wire. This particular wire I found at Joann's. It is a cloth stem wire, 22 gauge. 22 gauge is about the right thickness in terms of providing fit to your face, and that fit will be right around the top edge, so it will conform to your nose. If you are fancy, you'll probably want wire cutters. You're gonna need your scissors. You're gonna need 2 lengths of ribbon. A lot of people around their house have a ton of gift wrapping curling ribbon. You're gonna need 2 40-inch lengths cut. You're going to need a stapler, pins. You're going to need ruler and either a white pencil or a white crayon. Some pens or markers you might be able to see on this black cloth because it's not super black. It's kind of like a dark gray. So first you're going to want to find this manufactured straight edge. This will help make sure that the mask is a little bit easier to cut and will be a straight edge and provide a basis for you to make your square lines. All right, so first we're gonna measure 8 by 14. Okay, so finding the straight edge, you're gonna take the flat edge of your ruler. I have a clear one, which makes things a little bit easier, but you just wanna line up the straight edge, the bottom with the straight edge of the fabric. And then measure up 8 inches and mark that. So what you're going to do is eventually you're going to connect the dots, and that will help make a straighter edge for you. All right, so I'm measuring from the edge 8 inches up, and then you're going to draw this, connect all the dots here to make a straight line that's sort of perpendicular to this straight edge here. It's actually parallel. Then from here you are going to mark your end and then measure 14 inches from there. Mark that and connect those lines or those dots to make more of a straight line. All right, then cut. So once we get this cut out, we will fold it in half and pleat it. The pleats allow for a wider range of face and nose shapes. So this design should give pretty good fit to a lot of different sizes of heads and people. So here we go. Fold that in half, and that will create an open end and a folded end. The folded end is where we're going to start. We're going to measure down about 1/4 inch and make a line of staples about 1/4 inch from the folded edge. That's going to be the pocket for the craft wire. All right, this doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to mark it with a ruler. Just kind of have an idea of what a 1/4 inch is. All right, so there you go. There's the 1/4 inch pocket that I've made. That's where we're gonna insert the wire. I'm gonna take the wire. Since this is about 8 inches, you can cut 8 inches and then we're gonna fold over the edges. That's 8 inches. Then you take the edge, fold it back about 1/2 inch, and you're gonna wanna pinch it and crease it so you get that folded edge as flat as you can against itself. And that's just so that it doesn't poke out the sides of the pocket. All right, so once that is done, you're gonna put that inside the little pocket you just made. So you can see I just am inserting it into a little pocket. All right, then, starting with the bottom edge, what I'm gonna do to try and make this a little easier, I'm just gonna put a couple of staples in here, maybe just like 3. Don't go all the way over to the edge because you're going to be stapling on top of that with the curling ribbon. So starting about 1.5 inches from the bottom edge. If you have a fashion background like me, you kind of know what 1.5 inch looks like, but you don't have to be super nitpicky about that. This is like a one-time mask. So what you're going to do is pin a 1/2 inch pleat. You're gonna fold it down about 1/2 inch. And I'll show you what that looks like. And you're going to pin that down with pins on each side, and don't get too close to the edges of the fabric. I'll show you. So 1.5 inch this way, and then see the overlapped fabric, 1/2 inch, and that overlaps 1/2 inch. Your next pleat is going to be 1/2 inch up and 1/2 inch pleat. You do not want all of your fabrics to overlap. So you don't want that last pleat that you just did, you do not want that overlapping on top because that would just be too bulky and it will be hard to staple through. So I'll show you what that means. So as you can see, this section does not overlap this section. It's sort of like abutted to that. And then you're gonna just make one more 1/2 inch up, 1/2 inch pleat. This is not gonna be a pretty mask, but it is definitely functional and it will serve in a pinch, especially because nobody can get masks right now. This will be great for running errands, going to the grocery store. All right, so this is what we have here. Next, you're gonna take one of your 40-inch lengths of curling ribbon or whatever ribbon you have, fold it in half, find the halfway point, put that halfway on the width of the mask. Now, here's what I wanna show you about this. So eventually when you put this on your face, do you see how the staples have a flat edge and then they have the poked edge where the two ends come through the fabric and then meet in the middle? You probably don't want that against your face. So you want that pointing outwards. However, this you want on the top of what the mask will end up being, because the mask will help, this fabric or this ribbon will help pull it back. So we're gonna place that on this edge. And then we are going to staple. So you can see right here, this ribbon is only about maybe like a skinny 1/4 inch. So if you had a slightly thicker ribbon, I think it would be better. It would be a little bit more user-friendly to do this stapling process. All right. And if you feel more comfortable, you can, I did 4 staples, but you could go back and add a couple more if you're paranoid about it coming loose. So here I just added a couple more. So you're gonna repeat that both sides. Again, fold in half, find the halfway point, put that halfway on the mask edge, and staple. All right, then let's take out these pins. Okay, so this is kind of what the finished product looks like. And as I said, the poking edge of the staples will go facing out. So what the great thing about this craft wire is it helps fold and mold to the shape of your nose and provides a better seal here. So you're gonna take the ribbon and tie it more around the top part of your head, and then the bottom closer to your neck. There you go. And there you have it. So this mask you should be able to wear a couple uses, and look into proper placement of the mask and how to remove it after you come home, so that you aren't cross-contaminating. All right, best of luck.